Welcome back, everybody. 5RoundMMA is back with podcast number 6. I'm Alex Ramirez alongside Albert Cita. Today we'll cover reviews and reaction for UFC 155. Also, we'll take a look back at 2012 and also have some bold predictions for 2013. What's going on, Albert?
It's going good.
So I want to know, did you hear the latest news?
Yeah, Anderson Silva signs a 10-fight extension with the UFC.
10-fight extension. My initial reaction to this was that it's not really a full 10 fights. Like maybe he'll fight 2 or 3 and then retire. That way he won't go like to Bellator and any other fight organization and say, you know what, no, I still got 10 fights left. Kind of almost like a retirement egg from and protection for UFC. But you have a different idea about that, right?
Not only do I have a different idea, I have a different theory, a CETA theory.
CETA theory, everybody.
And that is that Anderson Silva plans to fight all 10 fights.
All 10 fights.
That means he's going to fight 3 or 4 times in 2013.
Okay.
Most of them being at 185 to clean out the division.
Okay.
And then he's going to leave room for those super fights. He's going to take on GSP first, and then Jon Bones Jones.
That's if they want to fight him, right?
If they want to fight him. But that's why he put 10 in there. The two fights are for the super fights, and the other ones are just to clean out the division, finish his career, saying that, look, I cleaned out the division twice.
Yeah, twice.
Peace out.
So, I know last night UFC 155 was really basically opened the door wide open for the 185 division. I mean, both the two fights were
Or
very
you can even
disappointing.
say it closed the door to 185 because now
Tim
we
Boetsch
only
didn't perform.
now we only have 2 people.
Alan Belcher didn't perform. So basically come down, I think Dana White said Michael Bisping if he comes
Yeah,
off
and Chris Weidman when he
successful.
comes off of the injury.
And they got Hector Lombard too. So those are
Yep.
possible fights away. And so, yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah, and like you said, how many fighters you just pointed out?
Those about 3 or 4, I think.
That's like 3 or 4 fights.
People should get comfortable. You see a lot more of Anderson Silva in the future. I mean, it was a couple months ago, we're talking about retirement. Now he's going to fight 10 more fights, couldn't you? I'll be right.
Yeah, he's 38 years old, but he ain't looking no 38.
Yeah, I mean, his fights, last two rounds at most? So.
Yeah. He hasn't even been in the octagon for a full year.
Yeah, I wonder if you add all his octagon time, like how many years it is. Or probably like a half an hour, you think, maybe?
It's more like 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
It's equivalent to 1 round.
Yeah, I think that's true. But all right, we'll take a quick break, and then we'll come back with the reviews and reactions for UFC 155. All right, everybody, don't miss a beat. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at 5RoundMMA. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and always check out the website, 5RoundMMA.com. 5RoundMMA is brought to you by SportsSceneTV.net. Get your prep sports fix at SportsSceneTV.net. 5RoundMMA is brought to you by True Athletes Training Systems. Unlock your inner athlete at TrueAthletes.com. All right, we're back now with reaction and reviews for UFC 155, the last pay-per-view card of the year. Albert, what stuck out in your mind from the pay-per-view card?
Oliver,
or the whole card.
Hit the shine button. What? We got no sound effects?
No sound for what?
Oh, my gosh, because Todd Duffee.
Oh, yeah.
The Duff Man returned.
Made his impactful return. You could go back to the very first podcast ever.
Yeah, it's true.
And I've been saying this, and I'll still say it. Todd Duffee is the real deal. Todd Duffee came in, knockout first round, just like I said, just like I predicted.
Not even that. He kind of took how many punches to the face before he knocked him out, right? Was he on the ground getting punched?
He took 5 to the face and just got up like nothing.
He was getting up and then was still getting punched in the face, kind of settled himself in, and then knocked him out, right? Philip Fries.
And I told you, see, people don't know how to read the Mayan calendar. I read it perfectly. It clearly said Todd Duffee will return on the 29th and demolish the UFC division, dog.
Yeah, I think you look at the Mayan calendar, it's probably just like a big old fist they carved in the calendar, right? It's Todd Duffee's fist.
If you stare at that centerpiece in the Mayan calendar, it resembles Todd Duffee's fist.
Well, you were very correct in your Todd Duffee prediction.
100%. Go back to the first podcast, people.
Yeah, the pay-per-view, the main card of the pay-per-view overall was a little bit disappointing, other than the Jim Miller Loazon fight, and then obviously the main event. But before that, it was pretty much a bore fest. Do you agree?
Yeah, you have to go all the way back down to the Facebook fights where Todd Duffee fought to find some good fights. The Leonard Garcia Max Holloway was a typical Leonard Garcia fight, which is entertaining, but it was sloppy. Max Holloway proved that he's still. The kid's young. He has expectations. John Moraga, that's someone to look out for too. That was a good fight. And then finally we got into the preliminary card, which was a board fest until we got to Eric Perez.
Yeah, he delivered perfectly. I think this
He was the hype and then some.
Yeah, a lot of attention was brought to him about being allowed permission by Dana White to wear a luchador mask in his entrance,
which is awesome.
Yeah, to represent his heritage.
Finally, he's starting to kind of figure out like, hey, this is sports entertainment as well.
Yeah, I mean, look at what WWE with how many Rey Mysterio masks does Vince McMahon sell in a year. I mean, it's marketing. Man, you got.
I already pre-ordered my Eric Perez mask.
Oh, you did really?
Yep.
I can do that. Yeah, the FX card ended very excitingly, but then the pay-per-view started with 3 very boring.
With the snore fest of Chris Levin versus Derek Brunson.
Yeah, this is the return of Chris Levin, and even Dana White said after the press conference said that he never should have put that fight on the pay-per-view card.
But if you go back to the last podcast, I clearly said, what the heck is Chris Levin doing in this main card? I even said switch him with Todd Duffee.
Yeah, because you want a 3-round board fest or you want a knockout? I mean, come on, guys.
So that just proves that I'm always one step ahead of Dana White.
Yes, so far, so good. Carried in 2013, man.
So what did you really think about that fight, though?
It was boring. I mean...
Did it prove anything?
Nope. If anything, if I were Derek Brunson, I would watch my back about getting fired because Dana White was very critical about him.
I think he has 2 options. 1, he's going to Bellator, or 2, he's going to Facebook.
Yeah, really. And then the second one was Alan Belchick and Yushin Okami. I was wrong in this one. Okami's wrestling did prove to be stronger. I mean, we train with Chael's son.
You can go back to the last podcast, and I said that.
Yeah.
I said, Yoshin Okami's too big. His wrestling's too good. It was going to go on the floor. It went on the floor. It stayed on the floor. It ended on the floor.
Yeah. But, again, I don't think it did nothing for Okami. I mean, the people were booing him. I mean, you had your title shot. You got knocked out, and yet you go back to laying and praying. I mean, that's just kind of the same formula John Finch had. It's not working good for John Finch has gotten title shot in 3 years already. So
yeah. So it wasn't a big win for Yushin.
It's a win.
It's like you said, it moved him half a notch.
Like a half a notch, yeah. So, and then probably I thought the biggest disappointment was Tim Boetsch, man. What happened to him?
He kept saying like he has some kind of injury or something, and I believed it too because he started using his elbow and stuff, setting up the jab, and he was doing these awkward takedown attempts.
Yeah.
But at the end of the fight, the doctor said that his hand was not broken, so I don't know what was the injury, but it was just a weird Tim Boetsch fight, and
Costas looks like he's like in top 10 middleweight now.
Costas should go and break part of his check to Tim Boetsch because he pretty much gave him that fight.
Yeah,
Costas needs to get a Cloud 9. I used to think he was good. Man, he's trash. He's garbage. By all means, go fight Michael Bisping and make him look good because Costas ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, and then, of course, people are talking about what might be a potential fight of the year was the lightweight bout, the co-main event, Joe Lozon against Jim Miller. I mean, it was bloody, and it was exciting. But, I mean...
All I got to say was I was excited because I thought it was going to end in the first round so we can get to the main event. But it didn't turn out that way.
Yeah.
Jim Miller did look impressive, but Jim Miller didn't show enough where he could still compete in the top 5.
Yeah, I think during the press conference, Dana White stated that Jim Miller now has the most wins in the lightweight division of any fighter ever, right?
Yeah, but he just can't beat.
And he hasn't had a title shot yet. Yeah. How's that possible? How do you have the most wins and not even get a title shot? So... Like Jim Miller's career is like it's stagnant. He's like the guy before the guy got to fight, you know?
Yeah, he turned into the gatekeeper of the 155.
Yeah, which is unfortunate.
And then let's get to the main event. What were your thoughts on that, Alex?
The main event? I think I predicted Cain Velasquez winning, correct? His wrestling was going to be the key, and it was. I think he really found the key to defeat JDS, which is just basically go forward and press it, because JDS was backing up from the beginning of the fight. And I think the difference was when...
Yeah, you can't generate power if you're on your heels.
Yeah. I think when the last 2 times fighters went forward against JDS was with Roy Nelson and Shea Cohen, but they were coming all lethargic and just basically get a punching bag. But when Cain Velasquez came forward, he was vicious, and that left jab was working beautiful in the beginning, I thought.
What surprised me more was how Cain Velasquez wasn't going to go off the game plan. The game plan was... set up for the takedown. And he, even if he had the open shots for Junior Dos Santos, he still just did the setup shots for the takedown. Yeah, he went for the clinch, takedown.
Because there was times when he thought he could finish them, but he went for the takedown instead. Or even even in the beginning, opening round, he looked kind of foolish, like just kind of grabbing at his feet and like really kind of like almost like, what are you doing? Like it's not there. But he was very persistent at going for the takedown.
Yeah. With that said, though, where does that leave GDS?
Well,
JDS.
JDS leaves him recovering for a long time. I mean, I think he posted a picture online, and his face was just a mess.
He looks like the guy from the Goonies.
And like he pointed out after the fight, he couldn't put his hat back
His
on.
hat didn't even fit.
I think he's going to take an extended rest just because I think he's never been beaten like that before. And I think he'll come back maybe springtime 2013. Once I think Verdum's going to fight Nogueira, and then Alistair Overeem's going to fight Bigfoot, so they'll leave at least a couple opponents up for him. And then maybe one fight, if he's performance, he'll be back up there again, just like Cain Velasquez was.
What sucks, though, is his only actual opponent is Verdum, because if Nogueira wins, he's Team Nogueira.
Yeah.
If Bigfoot Silva loses or wins, he's not going to fight him because they're in the same team.
Yeah.
Which only leaves one person, Guillermo. Todd Duffee.
Todd Duffee.
Todd Duffee will welcome back Junior Dos Santos with the first round KO.
Go 0-2. Wow. So, Cain Velasquez now, second title reign. Do you think it'll last longer than this first one?
Yeah, I think everyone sees it coming. It's going to be Overeem versus Cain Velasquez. I think Overeem's going to demolish Bigfoot Silva like he did before.
Okay. So, but like, what if like Bigfoot does come out successful against Cain, but then he can't fight Cain because Cain just demolished him a couple months ago? So what is that?
That's what I'm saying. Right now the heavyweight division is very thinned out.
Yeah.
So he's already beat everyone that's in the top 5, and if they just give him back the same people, it's going to be a long reign until we get some fresh heavyweights in there.
Yeah, and the biggest news was like, oh, Daniel Cormier is going to fight. But they already said they're not going to fight each other. He's
going to drop down to 205.
Yeah.
Well, stay tuned. We got some bold predictions for 2013.
All right, everybody, don't miss a beat. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at FiveRoundMMA. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and always check out the website, FiveRoundMMA.com. 5RoundMMA is brought to you by SportsSceneTV.net. Get your prep sports fix at SportsSceneTV.net. 5RoundMMA is brought to you by True Athletes Training Systems. Unlock your inner athlete at TrueAthletes.com.
Now it's time for the Best of 2012 awards and bold predictions for 2013. Alex, who is the disappointing fighter of the year?
Disappointing fighter of the year for 2012 is Jon Bones Jones. I mean, he only fought twice this year. Once he could have finished Rashad Evans. That was supposed to be the big old hype fight. I'm going to knock you out. You ruined my night, so and so on. He couldn't finish Rashad Evans. Second time he fought was Vitor Belfort after he canceled against Chael Sonnen, didn't want to take fights, was picking fights. And Belfort almost finishes him off, man. So it's kind of like he had a great 2011, couldn't carry that
Fought, 4 times in 2011?
Couldn't carry that in 2012.
Fought twice in 2012.
Very disappointing for Jon Jones, I thought.
Albert, tell me your breakout fighter of the year.
It's a very easy one. Rory McDonald.
Rory McDonald?
The real American Psycho. Let me explain why. He had 2 fights in 2012, yeah. But with his demolish of BJ Penn, it puts him there in the very top of the top.
True.
Alex, tell me your fighter of the year.
Fighter of the year, none other than Benson, Smooth, Henderson. This guy fought 3 times, a total of 15 rounds. All 3 were championship fights, and he comes out the winner on each one.
And he had a toothpick in his mouth the whole time.
Benson, Smooth, Henderson, hand down, fighter of the year.
Albert, now tell me the fight of the year.
The fight of the year is going to have to be, and the people that already predicted their fights, they should have waited, because the fight of the year had to been Cain Velasquez versus JDS. I mean, come on, it went all 5 rounds. There was drama before the fight, during the fight, after the fight.
It showed everything you needed. The underdog against the top guy. JDS showed a lot of heart. Cain Velasquez showed a lot of vicious heart as well. I mean, it's everything you needed. Storylines upon storylines in this fight, right?
Yeah, it was the fight of the year, hands down.
Now it's time for the bold predictions of 2013.
Well, these are bold predictions.
Bold.
So for my first one, I predict that Ronda Rousey will lose the first main event, ending the women's division in UFC.
That's kind of crazy how the whole division is just dependent on her if she wins, right?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I think she's gonna let the hype get to her.
I mean, she's main eventing, you know what I mean?
She's gonna lose. And then here, I wouldn't say bold prediction, because this should be like a fact, because I'm a mind reader. Rory McDonald is gonna destroy Carlos Condit. I know they call Carlos Condit the natural born killer, but he's gonna die against Rory McDonald,
the Canadian psycho.
And not only is he gonna beat him so bad that they're gonna beg Rory McDonald to face GSP, but guess what? He's gonna cash in that title fight against Anderson Silva.
Ooh.
And not only is he gonna fight against Anderson Silva in 2013, he's gonna beat Anderson Silva.
What? Very bold.
If anyone's out there listening out there, please email me tell me what you think, because I will bet my life savings Rory McDonald beats Anderson Silva at 185.
Wow.
And of course,
one more?
I got one more. And this one's pretty much like a no-brainer. Todd Duffee will clear out the heavyweight division for Cain Velasquez. He's going to clear out so much that if you guys ever play Mortal Kombat, he's going to be like Garo. He's just going to sit there and say, you can't even get through Cain until you get through me, son. And that's how the whole heavyweight. Matter of fact, I'll give you another prediction. Cain Velasquez isn't even going to fight in 2013 because no one's going to get past Todd Duffee.
Oh, wow. Very bold predictions. Mine are not as bold, but a little bit compared to yours, Albert. Wow, Todd Duffee, the Sagat of MMA.
Yes.
I got my bold predictions are that Jon Jones' star will diminish in 2013. I think with the Ultimate Fighter coming up, that's the worst thing he could have taken, especially against Chael Sonnen. He's going to be outshined. His personality is going to be completely diminished by the shadow of Chael Sonnen, and he's going to come out just looking like a real dwarf compared to...
Just seeing the clips alone bores me.
Yeah, because he's a boring guy to begin with. I mean, he tries to talk like in haikus and be the kung fu master, karate master, but, I mean, he's just a bore, dude. And when it comes to Chael Sonnen, the best talker in MMA, he might not win the fight, but still, he'll be completely outclassed and outshined personality-wise by Chael Sonnen. My second prediction is that the Demolition Man, Alistair Overeem, will pass every drug test given to him by the UFC and every state athletic commission. Don't matter about testosterone levels. The man eats horse meat. I'm pretty sure if you go on a steady diet of horse meat, your testosterone will raise. He's clean in my book.
Do you have one more?
Last one. No super fights in 2013. Sorry. No GSP Silva. No Jones Silva. I think MMA has a funny way of writing history, and just when you think something's going to happen, the unexpected happens. And I think with his 10-fight winning streak, who knows if Anderson Silva could clear out the division, man.
Well, that wraps up our podcast. I'd like to thank our producer Guillermo Cita, our executive producer Anthony Sariana, our sound engineer, they call him Ollie, Choo Choo the Trolley, Alex.
Yeah, make sure you follow us on Twitter at FiveRoundMMA. Check out the website, FiveRoundMMA.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and please feel free to leave comments, leave us a tweet, because we want to hear back from you guys, because it's got a lot more fan interaction in 2013, guys. So check out. It's going to be a big year in 2013 for FiveRoundMMA. Everybody have a happy and safe new year, guys.